This episode is brought to you by Fandango. People say fans are too distracted these days, but the truth is, when a great movie hits the screen, you show up. You stay glued, invested, part of the story. And without fans like you, there'd be no cinema magic, no shared moments. So head to Fandango.com to get tickets, stream, or rent or buy top movies and series. Fandango loves fans.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know.
Hey.
Neo.
Hey.
Neo. Come on.
Hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And
I'm Hillary Duff, and I'm with New York Times Cooking, and I'm making my mom's chicken soup.
And I'm making my mom's chicken soup.
this came after Lindsay's game. She's still doing this.
I could have had a really good trivia question about this, I will say, about like what was in the soup or whatever. But I didn't make it that far because I was like, you're not writing a game anymore. You don't have to watch the entirety of Hillary Duff making chicken soup at the New York Times test kitchen or whatever.
Unfortunately, I watched the entire video, but that's
no,
fine.
You didn't.
That's on me. Yeah, well, I wanted to see what the recipe was.
Oh my God. The sickness you have holds no bounds.
She's like, what's this? And they're like, it's a bay leaf. And she's like, this is embarrassing to cook on camera. And I'm like, yeah, probably it is.
Well, I don't know what a fresh bay leaf looks like either. I saw that part and I was like, fair, you know? We're not cooking with fresh bay leaves. That's a New York Times thing. She's a relatable woman. She's cooking for four.
One of the top comments is exactly what this PR machine wanted from her, which is, I'm a simple millennial. I see Hillary Duff, I click, I watch, I like.
And it's working. Against all odds, meaning you being in disbelief that this is still going on, she is
this
getting
album
the clicks.
Came out 8 years ago.
She's selling the seats. She's selling the albums. She's out here. She's smiling. Listen, she has the drive of a child star. This could never end, you know?
She does.
This woman has 4 children. She could keep going.
This album basically came out 2 months ago, and she's still doing stuff. It really makes me crazy. Okay, I have to stop thinking about it. You are listening to Who's There, a weekly call-in show where we take your questions, comments, and concerns at 619-WHO-THEM. Here's the first call.
Pretty sure there's going to be a montage of this, but Aubrey Plaza and Chris Abbott are having a baby. They're together. That's crazy. Marnie singing Stronger.
Love Marnie singing Stronger. This is not a montage topic.
No montage for this. You're getting one and done.
There's not like a joyfully montageable calls for this information. You know what I mean? It's kind of just a straightforward thing where it's like, these two? Really? Okay. You know?
Yeah.
If there's anything interesting about this, it's that I saw them in a play together. They were in the play in 2024, but they were also in a small movie that you may remember called Black Bear in 2020, where they clearly met. And let's guess they met. They had chemistry in this movie, and then decided to. And then maybe when she wanted to do the play, she said, "I would love to do it with him. He does theater. I'm doing theater for the first time." I think it was her like off-Broadway debut or whatever, or like whatever it was, her New York theater debut, and she chose him to work with, and then went from there. So I just want to say this, like, the true heads are going to be like, it goes all the way back to 2020's Black Bear, a movie that I never saw, but people did like.
I'm laughing at Christopher Abbott's Wikipedia page because I did see a sort of viral tweet after Aubrey's pregnancy sort of became public. It was someone saying something that pisses me off about his Wikipedia is that one of the first lines is he's an American actor and is best known for his work in independent films. And their commentary was like, bitch, you're best known for being in Girls.
Charlie,
don't try to scrub being Charlie from Girls from your Wikipedia. And so I just went to his Wikipedia while we were recording, and now it says he is known for his work in the hit show Girls as well as independent films.
Wait, so you think a petty bitch from Twitter went and changed it?
Yeah, because it was changed on April 8th. A petty bitch from Twitter changed Christopher Abbott's Wikipedia because of a viral tweet.
This man is currently starring on Broadway in Death of a Salesman, and he has you petty bitches behind his back going to his Wikipedia and updating it so that make sure, don't worry, he won't forget he was Charlie on Girls. He'll never forget that. He will never forget that. You'll never let him forget that.
I know that Twitter more and more and more is just becoming like a cesspool of like Nazis and hatred and like just disgusting stuff. And yet it still feels like 30% of the tweets I see are Christopher Abbott and Allison Williams from that one episode of Girls, and people being like, y'all weren't there. The Panic in Central Park episode.
I know. And Lena's like iconically just retweeting, being like, yes, 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 my divas, yes. I like that her current book press tour, which we are a part of, is having her talk about Girls again, because you forget that like so many people watch Girls. You forget how popular Girls was too, and then was as a reverberation from the original airing too.
Everyone's constantly rewatching it. Young people are rediscovering it. They're complaining about it. They're loving it. They're saying, God, I wish I was alive in 2012 and watching this on HBO every week. You know, it's really crazy.
And it's like, I was, you know, and like, was it great? I don't know if my life was great, but the show was great. Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, petty bitches.
These two, weirdly, when I saw this, I was like, makes sense. You know what I mean? Likely couple to appear or whatever. He's sexy, she's sexy. They both kind of are like artsy. Obviously, she had a huge tragedy in her life last year. Mm-hmm. Her ex-husband died, and it was probably really traumatic for her. So it's like, it is kind of like when you see one of these things, you're kind of like, all right, that's nice. And even the comment from their people was like, it was a beautiful surprise after an emotional year, the source says, adding, they feel very blessed. So you're kind of like, am I reading this as if they were surprised, or that the surprise of a pregnancy, which is always a surprise. You never know when it's going to happen. It's always a surprise, really. Even if you're trying to get pregnant, it's still somewhat of a surprise. And they're just playing with that language. You really can't tell what surprise is meaning in this. It could mean like many things, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's why I think I'm like, Aubrey Plaza has a really good publicist or something. Like, that's a really good quote.
Right. Well, you know why she has a good publicist? It's that no one knew they were even together.
No one even
There
knew.
was like a random Demois spotting from months ago that no one followed up on in March 2024. That's years ago. Demois received a sighting of Plaza and Abbott at the Chatham Berry Farm, which is located about 2.5 hours outside of New York. The encounter did not necessarily seem platonic, according to our eyewitness. Demois' source said that Plaza, quote, was rubbing his back and they were sitting very close to each other at a picnic table. From the insider's POV, the vibes appeared, quote, more than friends. God, it like literally keeps going. Then his sister and her kids got there. Apparently, Plaza, quote, knew the singer. Later on, the source discovered that, this source is like kind of creepy. Later on, the source discovered that the mystery singer was none other than Chris Abbott's older sister, Christina Abbott. Wow, this is like unfolding. In fact, Abbott's sister posted on Instagram about a musical appearance on the farm, so this hangout was quite recent. The Abbott Plaza group spent a considerable amount of time on the property, and they had several rounds of drinks on the cider and ate dinner. And then they had another submission in 2023 when the play was happening. And actually, I kind of remember this. I'm not sure why, but this is familiar to me. He hurt himself, okay? And he had to have crutches in the show, which was like weirdly a very like physical show, because he's kind of like the whole time, and then she's kind of running around, and they do a dance. And I guess, so it says, about halfway through the play's run, the source informed us that Abbott hurt his knee, which led Plaza to perform a, quote, coordinated dance scene, which she gave him a lap dance when he was on crutches. I remember this. Before he sustained his injury, the actress-comedian rode him simulating sex while he's on the floor as one of the sets changed between acts. I remember this. They closed the curtain behind them, and they kind of like have fake sex. On the evening that Abbott hurt himself, Plaza, quote, went into a different mode to take care of him. It was very affectionate. Instead of making a post-show appearance, she avoided any stage door due to Chris being her main concern. There's a lot of kind of like speculation here, but it's like she was different to him because he hurt himself. And it's like, yeah, they're professionals, like, and they're acting. And she probably did have to accommodate his injury.
Yeah. And now Aubrey's pregnant. Okay.
Now they're together and now she's pregnant.
Hey, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy, regarding the women-owned arms dealer, until very recently, like within the last year, like within the change of administration, government procurement had mechanisms for prioritizing women and minority-owned and also small businesses. in their like procurement processes. Like when the government would like put out a bid for, let's say, bulletproof glass, I think the way it worked was like there was a requirement that they get bids from small businesses and women and minority owned businesses. So it makes a lot of sense that that a women-owned bulletproof glass department would be doing a lot of good business for the Department of Defense. And yeah, okay, crunch, crunch.
Okay, woke government procurement mechanism.
Thank you, caller.
Are you in the CIA? What's up? What are you doing? What do you do? Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
It's like the Devil Wears Prada meme with the two belts, and she's like, they're so different, and one's bulletproof glass made by a man, and one bulletproof glass made by a woman.
Made by a woman. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what are we gonna do?
It's very me on a date to be like, tell me what you do. No, don't tell me. Wait, no, don't tell me. Tell me. No, wait, what do you do? No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Listen, I just am glad to know that the woke government is letting small women make bulletproof glass or whatever.
Well, now Matthew is starring in a new show. It's called The Miniature Wife, and he plays a brilliant scientist who dreams of changing the world, but accidentally uses his groundbreaking technology to shrink his wife.
Hey, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy, add me to the montage of people telling you that the female Oedipus complex is the Electra complex. Just kidding. There's not going to be a montage about that. It's so silly. Bye.
Okay, at least you knew there was not going to be a montage of people calling, being like, it's the Electra complex. It's the Electra complex. Yeah, the Electra complex is the girl version, which is what Bobby asked for, of the Oedipus complex. And it's when, you know, a woman is gunning for her father.
Yeah. I don't think I even knew this. I don't think I've ever heard the term Electra complex.
And now you'll never forget it.
No, I'll never forget it.
Never forget. That's amazing.
I'll never forget
it. Beautiful. Wow, Freud was like, I don't know about that. Freud was kind of like, I don't know. Freud was kind of like, I don't think so. He literally was like so sexist. He was like, women can't be mad. Also.
Well, we'll see about that, honey.
No, truly. Truly. No, truly.
Okay. God. I don't know about that.
Truly.
Hi, The Weekly. I'm at work right now, but I just had to dip into a conference room and call because I'm reading about someone named Pooh Shiesty, who I understand, I think just got out of jail, who kidnapped Gucci Mane in Dallas. I would love a breakdown. I could read the article, but I'd love for you just to give me all the context. Tell me all the deets. Okay, thanks. Crunch, crunch.
I like the way that you described this to me earlier, which was kind of like
me
explaining what kidnapping means.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like not like he was, you know, put a hood over his head and like was brought to like a different location.
Like kidnapping in a movie. I'm going to put you in a trunk. Then I'm going to put you in a cabin.
Kidnapping is in this situation a term that applies to like a number of scenarios, including this one, which is kind of fucked up, to be honest.
It's technically kidnapping which is what Pooh Shiesty allegedly did in this instance, which we'll get into in a second, which is say, I'm going to go to where you live. Like if Lindsay, I went to your apartment and like I knocked on the door and you were like, come in. And then I walked in and you were sitting on the couch and I was like,
and I was like, you're never leaving.
And I pulled out a knife and I was like,
okay,
Lindsay, you can't leave until you do X, Y, or Z for me, or until X, Y, or Z.
Oh, you kidnapped me in my own home, is what you're saying.
That is kidnapping because I'm like, you can't leave, even though it's your house. Because I've said, you can't get out of here or else I'll fucking kill you, you know? That's still kidnapping, even though I didn't actually nap you and put you somewhere.
Don't talk about napping me. I didn't nap you. Okay, can you describe can we talk about who the players are in this game?
Who are the players in this game? Gucci Mane? What would you say? I would say Gucci Mane's probably a them.
For sure. I think so. Him and his wife. His wife isn't a them, but I love his wife.
Oh, Keisha?
Gucci Mane is, I would say, a them.
Yes.
For sure. Which is why this really stems from like predatory music business stuff, where it's like his label was the one that
his label
pissed off one of his artists, where like he gave one of his artists a bad deal, and this is retaliation for that, basically.
Well, what the artist says is a bad deal. I think when we were talking about this off mic, you were like, every artist thinks their contract is a bad deal. Like, no artist is happy with their contract, and I think that that's true.
I truly think that most label contracts, when you're a new artist, are bad deals. Like, technically they are like bad deals because you have no leverage. And I think like for you to even be allowed to make music, if you're not a sure thing, you have a bad deal. You're working against the odds. Totally.
So Gucci Mane has a label called 1017 Records. It's what do you even call it? It's under Atlantic.
It's a
sub label of Atlantic Records. They're based in Atlanta, but I think he must have like a recording studio that he works out of in Dallas, because this incident happened in Dallas. So Pooh Shiesty signs with Gucci Mane's label, and Gucci Mane is like all about Pooh Shiesty in 2020, right? He's like, this guy, the future. We love
the future,
Pooh Shiesty.
right?
He's
totally
releasing popular music. It's like charting. It's doing well.
This is Shiesty summer, yeah. Book you for your lumber, yeah. Chopper hit it hard, won't hurt beat, ain't no more drama, yeah. This is Shiesty summer, yeah. Book you for your lumber, yeah. Chopper hit it hard, won't hurt beat, ain't no more drama, yeah.
Then he gets in trouble with the law. Pooh Shiesty does.
FYI, Pooh Shiesty is different from Pooh Bear, who is that artist who worked with Justin Bieber and like wrote all of his songs. I got confused. This is a different guy.
There are two Poohs.
There are two Poohs.
This is Pooh Shiesty, then there's Pooh Bear.
And, well, actually, there's three Poohs, because one is like Winnie the Pooh, but he doesn't have a rap career yet.
So he's recording music. It's going well. Genuinely charting, genuinely successful. Yeah. And then early on in his career under Gucci Mane's label, he gets arrested for a shooting. He gets arrested for like a conspiracy charge. He pleads guilty a couple years later. So this is like early in his recording career where he is like on the come up. Instantly gets in trouble with the law, goes to prison. I think he got an 8-year sentence, something like that. He gets a multi-year sentence, but is released early. He gets released in October of 2025. 6 months ago. What's crazy is that the events that were just revealed the past couple of weeks actually happened allegedly in January. So he gets out of prison in October, and then 3 months later, this thing allegedly happens. Okay, when he gets out of prison, because he's early, he's on house arrest. He has an ankle monitor on. The detail that I didn't see in a lot of reporting, but then I was watching some like sort of YouTube people recap what happened, and then they led me to reporting that I didn't actually see in all the places, was that he has an ankle monitor on. So when Pooh Shiesty gets out of prison and goes to Dallas to allegedly have an interaction with Gucci Mane at a recording studio, his probation officer sees that his ankle monitor is crossing state lines and going to Dallas. And apparently he gets contacted, and it's like, Pooh, what are you doing? You can't be in Dallas. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm just taking care of something. Just like, let me do this, allegedly.
I'm just doing an errand. I'm
running an errand in Dallas. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So apparently, allegedly, what happened in Dallas was he goes into this recording studio. Apparently, allegedly, seemingly. He goes, allegedly, seemingly,
I like when you say all three. It's like, yeah, okay, say all three.
Well, this is why it's like, it's almost too early to be talking about this, because we don't really have a conclusion yet. He has been arrested again, but we don't really know what he said actually happened.
Right. It's like, who knows if we'll ever talk about this again, right? Like, you might have to be the one to kind of follow up, right?
And if it's anything like a lot of these like legal cases, we won't know the conclusion until like 2028. You know, like this will just sort of disappear as the machinations of the justice system sort of slowly start turning, and then we'll have a conclusion in 3 years. But what happened is he goes to the Dallas studio, he sees Gucci Mane, and he's like, allegedly, apparently, seemingly, hey, Gucci, I hate my contract.
Yeah.
You have to sign this paper that is releasing me from the shitty contract that I signed with you 6 years ago. And Gucci Mane, under duress, I think he knows legally that, like, even if he signs this contract, like when allegedly, seemingly, there's a threat of violence, that doesn't matter. It doesn't count. So I think he just signed it. He was like, sure, sign it, because all of this is being recorded. This is all on like security cameras, apparently. So he signs it. One of the people who's allegedly seemingly apparently there is Pooh Shiesty's father. There's a whole like troop of guys. He like brought the squad. So they're all there. After they get Gucci Mane to sign this release. Also, what's really interesting is Gucci Mane is never named in this complaint.
Why?
It's weird. They never say like, and then Gucci Mane did this. And his real name is Radrick Davis. So the only thing you get close to in these documents, because Gucci Mane hasn't said anything about this. That's what's also interesting. Like, he hasn't spoken out about this anywhere. This just happened in the legal system. But you'll see the initials RD in the court documents. That's the closest thing you get to Gucci Mane, which is his real name, Radrick Davis. Okay.
That does make sense. It's real name. Yeah.
So he signs these documents. Then while they're there, they get the documents signed, and then they steal, which is really funny to me, they steal cash, they steal Rolexes, they steal AirPods. And I was like, AirPods too? Like, you're getting the AirPods.
You gotta get the AirPods too.
You gotta get the AirPods as well. You've got all these Rolexes. What are you doing here?
You need the AirPods, really?
Yeah, so.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they leave. This happens January 10th. They get away with it for months, but I guess this gets investigated because they didn't get arrested until the beginning of April this past week. Like, they're in jail. But one of the people involved is Pooh Shiesty's father. And that's it. That's what's happened.
Wow. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle.
And again, Gucci Mane hasn't said shit about this. This is not in my best interest to comment on any of this crap. But like, someone just basically held me at gunpoint. I'm just going to shut up.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, caller, you know what happened.
Now, caller, you know what happened.
I want to be famous.
I'm going to be very real with you right now. I'm recording this episode of Who Weekly in my Koyuchi waffle knit robe. Yeah, I'll send you a photo. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in it. I love it. I wear it every morning.
I'm in it. I'm in the robe. Yeah, the robe, having a robe around is really kind of an underrated experience. I feel like you don't appreciate that until you either are given a robe, you steal a robe from a hotel, or you buy like a gorgeous robe for yourself from like Koyuchi.
I was never a robe person until I was in my 30s when someone gave me a robe and I was like, this is
Give your friend a robe.
From Koyuchi, I think. Obviously, they have bedding too. They have a lot of stuff, but I recommend the robe. Towels, table linens, spa robes, they're great. Their sheets are made from natural fibers and certified to be free of harmful chemicals, so you're not sleeping in anything questionable. Plus, the designs are so calming. Think subtle sheen, soft textures, and beautiful nature-inspired colors that make your whole space feel more peaceful. If you want healthy, organic, luxury bedding and robes that last a lifetime, you need Koyuchi. Get 15% off your first order when you visit koyuchi.com/who. That's koyuchi.com/who to get 15% off. koyuchi.com/who.
Understanding power requires more than headlines. I'm Peter Hamby, host of The Powers That Be, a podcast from Puck examining politics, economics, and media to provide context, analysis, and clarity without sensationalism. We ask how power operates, who benefits, and what's at stake. If you want to move beyond breaking news to deeper understanding, join us on The Powers That Be. New episodes every weekday. Follow The Powers That Be wherever you get your podcasts.
It's going to be 70 degrees today, Lindsay, somehow. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard.
You know what that means?
I heard this morning.
I'm going to bust out my 100% European linen quince shorts.
To bust out my Italian crossback one-piece swimsuit.
Oh, you're already getting in the water? Great. It's so you.
Are you kidding me? It's 70 degrees?
Aqualins.
I'm in the water.
I just love their shorts. Everything linen from Quince, I'm loving in the summertime. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to this weather because I know I'm going to look good and I'm going to feel comfortable. And people are going to say, where'd you get that? I'm going to say, Quince. Use our code.
You always say that.
Quince makes everyday pieces from premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and super soft denim with styles starting around $50. Their spring collection is light, breathable, and effortless. The kind of pieces you can throw on and immediately feel put together afterwards. Their accessories are just as impressive. They have leather bags made from 100% hand-woven Italian leather. So refresh your spring wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/who for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. Go to quince.com/who for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/who.
I want to be famous.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy. I saw that Shiloh Jolie May Pitt was in a music video with her dance group or something like that. And the directors of the video and all the creatives are saying, we had no idea it was her. We didn't know. Conveniently, she's in the teaser, promotional images, things like that. But people were saying, how could you not know? She's instantly recognizable. And I was like, okay, yeah, she looks just like her mother and a little bit of her dad. I get it. But is she instantly recognizable to everyone? Like, is Mimo and people, are they going to know, oh, I love that Shiloh. She dropped the pit from her last name. I don't think they're going to know that. So I don't know, does that make her a who or a them? And if she is a them, thinking about JFK Jr. actually in the news, is there like a Nepo baby who is a them without ever having to do anything? Like, are there other Nepo babies that are just thems because of their parentage? Okay, bye. Good trench.
When I clicked the video for this song, I was like, am I even gonna recognize Shiloh Jolie Pitt? And the moment you see the dance group right behind Dayoung,
it's like unfortunate because like no matter what Shiloh Jolie does, well, isn't it Shiloh Jolie? She dropped Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt's no more Pitt. They go by Shy in the credits for the video. So I'm also going to be like, let me call them Shy. It's just unfortunate for Shy that they've really, really received the genetic kind of Punnett square ass material from Angelina Jolie specifically. I mean, Brad, part of that as well. But like, let's just say like, yeah, you look like Angelina Jolie. But the real question is, do you actually think that they did not know that they had cast Shiloh Jolie in the music video? Because all signs kind of point to no. Like, they're in the back. The whole time they're in the back. Like, you really gotta zoom to see what's going on with them.
Okay. Dayoung is not insanely famous in the United States.
No.
If it had been a much larger artist, I would have said no way in hell.
And Shy has been showing up in the very niche dance videos that come out of LA when all the dancers like go to those specific studios and they have guest choreographers come in and they like really, really turn it out and it like comes out. And they're kind of like, if you were a dancer, you'd know all the dancers. But if you weren't a dancer, you've never heard of any of these people in your life. So they're like kind of pseudo celebrities. And I feel like being in a K-pop music video, no matter who the artist is a really the epitome of a backup dancer's kind of dream gig because it's a complicated show-offy dancing. Maybe it's not a ton of eyes on you, but it's like it shows like that you've got the cred.
Call me a gullible little fucking idiot, but I believe these producers when they give their statement saying, we had no idea we cast the child of Angelina Jolie in this video.
I kind of believe it.
The label for Dayoung is Starship Entertainment. After it went viral and, people, because what I do believe is once Shy was in this video, I think she definitely was able to use her parents' publicity arm to make sure everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
But after this all kind of went viral on people.com and all these places, and it was very clear that Shy was in this video, the label released a statement that said, we held an open audition in the United States of America to cast performances for Dayoung's music video. Among those who took part were several performers affiliated with a dance crew called Culture. Shiloh was selected in the final round and ended up joining Dayoung's music video. Even after filming, we had no idea she was the child of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and only found out by chance quite recently. That sounds like someone who is shocked to me. Am I an idiot?
I kind of believe it because I feel like they would have featured them more.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, this is a music video and an artist that implies a lot of capitalism behind the machine of the creation of this video. I just am kind of like, this is not like an integrity forward kind of situation here where it's like the dancing is good and the music video is fun, but I'm like, they would put Shy in the front if they knew what was up. And when to tell you that Shy is in the back, Shy's in the back.
Shy's in the back.
You know what I think that they did is I think they found out before they cut the preview and they put a shot of Shy up close in the preview because that shot of Shy is not in the main video. I think
you're definitely right about that.
So I do think somebody did find out and they did amend, but the actual video itself, when you watch it, you're like, you would never know unless you kind of knew that they were going to be in it.
They wouldn't be upset about this, meaning Dayoung's people. They wouldn't be upset about this. In fact, they think it's cool. This is definitely getting this video more attention than it would have gotten otherwise. Despite the fact that Dayoung just did a Zach Sang interview yesterday, 2 days ago.
Really?
So like she's
Wow.
on the publicity tour right now.
She's a solo artist who is in a girl group. Is that correct?
She was in a girl group called WJSN.
WJSN. Okay.
This is her second solo single, but she's been in this group for 10 years. So it's not like she's breaking out of this group very early. She's breaking out of the group kind of at the time when you typically break out of groups. It's been a decade of her being in this thing. And she was always the youngest one in WJSN. She kind of changed her look around, did more presenting projects specifically in Korea, and now she's branching out into a solo career, doing a whole like American press tour, because a lot of the interviews about this album are that she was like, I did this whole thing in the United States.
Do you want me like I do? So what's a girl to do? Now I'm pulling my hair out, hiding my clothes in the back of your room, so I can come over, pick up my things, but it's just an excuse. I'll get in your head, the money's so get, yeah, I'll do what I have to. So what's a girl to do? So what's a girl to do?
I will say this is the rare artist where Timmy claims he doesn't stan, and I'm like, I don't know. You don't stan? He goes, I don't stan.
The first song I'd ever heard by her was What's a Girl to Do, which is the one that Shy is in. And I was like, this video actually kind of makes me nauseous because of the editing style, and I don't love this song. Timmy sends another song and says, I prefer this one. And I was like, oh, I like this more too. Lindsay, let me guess, you stan. Timmy, I actually don't stan. She's fine.
He's been waiting to get me because I was like, okay, who don't you stan? And he hasn't had an answer until now.
Absolutely destroyed.
So Dayoung is the first artist that Timmy doesn't stan.
And Dayoung's history is interesting because before she was the youngest person in WJSN, she was on a competition show called K-Pop Star at 12 years old in 2011 and competed, and I guess like had a bit of a viral moment. I can't find a clip of it, but I guess it was like kind of a big moment.
And that moment, I was 11 years old. Starship Entertainment like called me, hey Daya, we really love your like energy, and I saw your TV show, and can you sign with us? And then we screamed, and they're like, oh yes, absolutely, of course, I will go right now. And they're like, yeah, the day after tomorrow, I went to Seoul and I moved everything and I started trainee. Yeah, and for a trainee for 4 years. Yeah.
Before you would end up debuting in a group that would last for 10.
Yes, 10.
You've been working on this for, I mean, really 15 years, right?
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. My whole life. I really love music.
So we believe Shy made it into this video without telling anyone, or without anyone in the production process knowing that she was the child of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
I wonder if she will end up like on a big artist tour. Like I wonder, because I think that would be an interesting kind of, because you know a lot the kind of J-Lo route. Like I wonder if she'll, you know, I wonder what comes of this, right? Like does she just want to be a dancer, or will she get like pulled into the other thing?
Yeah,
we've never quote unquote met her before. We don't really know her. We just know she's a good dancer.
She appears with her mother at certain places. Like she'll like show up to events with her, but like we haven't had the full coming out party.
She doesn't talk.
She doesn't talk.
Talk about good. What's good gigs for Nepo babies? Be like showing the truest form of your natural and actually practice talent. It's like to be a dancer on this level, you have to be so practiced. I mean, you have to like spend every day and night in the studio and also have some talent or whatever. But like, I think this is like a good. I think it's a good one because you don't really need to have. She doesn't need to be funded. She could just like go for it. She could just totally go for like the creative kind of dream of being a dancer. And that's like kind of cool. And when you watch, you can't deny that she's good at what she does.
She is genuinely talented.
It is hard to not like see her and be like, oh my God. It's like truly Angelina Jolie.
Well, there are certain angles. If you capture her from the right angles, it's like, am I watching Girl Interrupted right now?
Yeah, truly.
You know, like
right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Totally.
Speaking of Girl Interrupted.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy, long time. The casting announcement was just released for Girl Interrupted the musical, and King Princess is playing Lisa, who was famously Angelina Jolie's role. I have a lot of personal thoughts and opinions, but I am dying to hear what you guys think about it, especially you, Lindsay, as a fellow theater girly. Yeah, please discuss. Good form, Bella Thorne. Crunch, crunch.
Listen, the kind of like, you know, a Girl Interrupted musical. I'm excited about this. I don't know. Do I think it could translate? I don't know. Written by Amy Mann. Okay, interesting.
We've heard a lot of the music.
We have?
This is an interesting intersection of Lindsay and my own interests, because Lindsay, theater girly, big fan of the public theater. Myself, big Amy Mann fan, big fan of everything.
But it's original songs.
It's original songs. So Amy has been trying to...
You haven't heard the music.
No, I have. She's released it. So that's why I was shocked when this thing actually got announced a few months ago before the casting. Amy Mann was going to write the music for a Girl Interrupted musical. It was announced years ago, I think well before the pandemic. And I think the pandemic put the kibosh on that. And I think Amy Mann assumed that it would never happen, but she had all this music written. She released it as an album. And it came out a few years ago.
Wow.
It's called Queens of the Summer Hotel. It came out in the early stages of the pandemic. And it's, if you were listening to the music,
you wouldn't know.
You probably wouldn't know, but the true heads were like, these are the songs from her Girl Interrupted sessions, right? And a lot of the stuff is very explicitly like based on Susanna's memoir.
Is there a song about the chicken?
I know you're joking, but the answer is yes.
Ladies, can you hear me? You're coming here looking like some hippie chick. Some Bolshevik. It doesn't even faze me. 'Cause there's a couple boxes, self-appointed foxes, put the chickens in. You're feminine. You're crazy.
She released this album 5 years ago, thinking that the play would never actually happen. Because again, this is one of those things, Lindsay, you know more about this. Like, this is the play with music. I think it's not a musical. It's a play with music.
It's a play with music, which is like kind of a kind of interesting pseudo genre, right? So
yeah,
they're not like singing like I'm a girl who's interrupted. They're like they're talking, and then there's kind of like some music.
They're saying I'm a girl who's interrupted, and then Amy Mann will be like, she's a girl who's interrupted. Like it's sort of like there's a distinction there.
But I do think after seeing King Princess in Song Sung Blue, I'm like, that's
Blue.
fun. And also I do think like Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted is kind of like there's like a queer energy to her in that's like very potent and very like magical and special to her. And I think King Princess like could pull that off too. Like I think there's a vibe there. If they really like push it, I think it could be fun. I mean, you know, I'm sus, but like cool idea.
It's
glad
a cool
it's happening.
idea.
Glad it's happening. That's
I'm really
the main thing is that stuff like this really has a hard time making it to the finish line. And it's like, cool. The public is like putting it up. That rocks.
I was trying to see when it was announced that Amy Mann was first writing songs for Girl Interrupted. And like, I was like, I know this was before the pandemic. And I know one time, because I've seen Amy Mann live a million times. Yeah, it was 2019. It must have been the 2019 tour, because it was maybe the first I'd heard about it. She sang a song that I'd never heard before. And she was like, this song, it's called Suicide is Murder. And she was like, this song is for a Girl Interrupted musical that I'm writing. And I was like,
wow.
Are you kidding me? And then it never happened. And then she was like, fuck it, I have this music. And then somehow it got brought back to life. I don't know. I find this really interesting.
All right. Well, then you'll have to go see it, won't you?
The funny thing about King Princess is when you see King Princess in anything, you're sort of like, queer subplot incoming. And the weirdest thing about Song Sung Blue is there's no queer subplot incoming.
I know.
They don't get one.
I know. That's kind of what's crazy. It's like they cut it, or they wanted to allude to it, or they actually didn't at all. And maybe that's just like why King Princess really proves themselves in that movie, which is like there is no gay plot. They're just good.
I can't wait to see King Princess and Christine Baranski at the red carpet of Girl Interrupted's premiere.
Oh, yeah. Those two iconic lovers / friends. Kidding. They're just friends.
They're just friends.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby. To me, I'm about to go to sleep, and I saw that Entertainment Weekly tweeted. Here's the tweet with the article attached. Full House actress Andrea Barber reveals she was under anesthesia during O.J. Simpson's infamous Bronco chase in 1994. So, in case you were wondering where Kimmy Gibbler was during the chase, I know we've all been like waiting to hear about this. She was under anesthesia, so just wanted to let you guys know. You know, we can finally put that to rest. She had kidney stones. All right, brother. I don't know him.
Yeah, this was a big thing. People have been talking about this for years. People were like, yes, O.J. Simpson, the white Bronco chase, where were you? But a lot of people, after they say where were you, they say where was Kimmy Gibbler, the iconic Kimmy Gibbler from ABC's Full House and Netflix sequel series Fuller House. And finally, thanks to her chat with Jodie Sweetin on their latest episode of their Rewatch podcast, How Rude Tanneritos, she's revealed.
Mm-hmm.
This is like funny because like clearly this is just a woman telling a story on her very own podcast. And then the idea that somebody like the news media picked it up is like, that's not her fault, but it made it so stupid, you know? Like she didn't do anything but tell a funny story about herself on her own podcast. But then EW is like, we're going to make it an article. And people's like, we'll make it an article too. And it's like, you're making this woman look foolish.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I think we did watch the O.J. Simpson slow Bronco chase in my Spanish class, though. I do think that was one of the things that we all stopped to watch.
Yeah.
That was
and
it.
the verdict. Yes, all of
I'm sorry, I have to pause this. This is Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber. They don't sound like Kimmy and Stephanie at all.
No,
Who are
it's literally
these
two
people?
It's literally two new women. It's literally two new women.
What am I listening to?
It's literally two new women. Yeah, this is like don't let
Oh,
nostalgia
this
get
like
the best
hurts
of you
my
vibes.
brain. I was like, is there a filter on this? I know what Jodie Sweetin sounds like, and I know what Andrea Barber sounds. Well, I know what Kimmy and Stephanie sound like. Oh my God, they sound so weird.
Not my Kimmy, not my Stephanie. They're not real grown women.
Okay, listen.
I have the weirdest memory about that Bronco chase day. So this is such a niche comment, but
yeah.
So that day I have kidney stones. I've had kidney stones my whole life.
Right.
When I first discovered it, I was 17 and I had 2 kidney stones, one in each kidney.
Oh.
So I couldn't pass them. It was very painful.
It's not.
Yeah. And so I'm waking up from the anesthesia. Anyways, we watched the Bronco chase as I was like coming out of anesthesia.
How did we get here? I forgot. Okay. Kidney stones, O.J. Simpson.
As I was waking up from anesthesia, the Bronco chase was happening. And so my parents, we, had it on the radio.
Right.
People were watching it in the hospital. And so I just was like, what did I wake up to? Like, what is happening right now that O.J. Simpson's being chased down the freeway by the
was
cops?
strong. Yeah.
Right. That was a fever dream. So anytime anyone mentions the Bronco chase, I think of my kidneys. And now you will too.
I'm sorry, who is listening to this like in depth enough? I mean, I gotta say, like, you only need one fan of one random thing on your website. It's like, hey, I was listening to the How Rude Tanneritos podcast, and Andrea Barber says that she it's
Andrea Barber said she was coming out of kidney stone anesthesia while the OJ Bronco chase was happening.
usually sometimes a publicist will try and seed something to but there's no publicist seeding this information to there's no way. There's no way.
The publicist saw this on People and was like, they pulled that out?
It's that's what's kind of grinding my gears, I guess, that it's like
Getting
one
my
is
gut.
I don't
Is that
know,
a
man.
thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's getting my gut. Well, that's in the lexicon now. It's kind of getting my gut. Period.
It's getting in my guts. Okay, sorry, I guess. Okay. Whatever. It's just like, how did this get, like, who was the first person to write about this? Was it Kathleen Perricone from Entertainment Weekly? Did they beat people? Like, who did it first? April 7th at 4:45 and April 7th at 7:59 p.m. Oh my God, it was People? Okay, Virginia Chamley at People.
Oh, it was the first one.
Why did you aggregate this news item? Why?
Here's what I hate, though. The lead of this is Andrea Barber is opening up about the unique way she learned about the 1994 O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. It's like, she's not like opening up. She's just telling a random stream of consciousness anecdote while Jodie Sweetin.
No, she's not opening up.
She's not
This
like
is
opening
not,
up. This is therapy.
This is not Barbara Walters. She's just blabbing with her old friend on her honestly boring random podcast.
Where she's like, Jodie, you know how I get kidney stones all the time? And Jodie's like, yeah, absolutely. She was like, well, I was dealing with the kidney stone during the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. Only it took her 8 minutes to tell the story. But that's not opening up. It's not opening up.
I know.
And then, of course, because it's People Magazine, the entire remainder of the story is like, here are the details from the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. Do you remember how it happened?
There are more words about the Bronco chase than there are about this thing, because this thing is like barely a thing. Do they define what kidney stones are? Sometimes they do a thing where they'll be like, kidney stones are when d-d-d-d-d-d-d.
Sharing that she suffered from kidney stones, Barber revealed that she underwent a medical procedure on June 17, 1994 that required her to undergo anesthesia. Okay, there's no description of kidney stones, but when we get past the related stories bucket, it says, the now notorious Bronco chase occurred when Simpson, who died at age 76 in April 2024, was ordered to turn himself into police on June 17, 1994, following the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. Simpson and her friend, waiter Ronald Goldman, were stabbed to death on June 12, 1994. Their bodies were found outside her Los Angeles area home in the early hours of June 13th. There's 3 more paragraphs.
Okay.
No comments.
Who's commenting on this?
No one. But there are a lot of comments on the Spotify podcast comments. In case you haven't noticed, if you listen to our episodes on Spotify, we disabled the comments. You know you can disable them.
Yeah, thank God. All right, can we move on?
Yes.
I want to be famous.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
K-pop Demon Hunters Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop. You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Spring Black Friday is on at the Home Depot. Save on grills and patio sets that will be sure to bring your hosting game up a notch. Fire up your feast with help from the Home Depot and save on grills. Like the Next Grill 4-burner propane gas grill was $249, now on special buy for $199. Or give everyone the best seat in the yard with the Hampton Bay Mayfield Park 4-piece conversation set for only $399. Save on grills and patio sets with low prices guaranteed during Spring Black Friday only at the Home Depot. Now through April 22nd, while supplies last. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
I want to be famous.
Hi, Who Weekly. Long time. Chloe Fireman is currently going viral for telling a really kind of creepy story about herself, and she's kind of getting a little bit canceled. But I think she was canceled before. Like, is she a Scientologist or something? Can you dig into it? And also, does the cast like her? I can't tell if they're friends, if she's not, if she's weird, if she's in a cult. And what do you think about the story she shared? And also, people saying Vanity Fair edited it, so it made her look better, and then they released an uncut version. I don't know. Maybe some of your experience about how that works. Okay, thank you. Crunch.
I hate this.
I know, but it's layers of interesting, don't you think?
I actually would have said, I don't want to talk about this until Variety wrote that reported story about how Vanity Fair edited the video and then put it back up by taking out the sort of really nasty bits. I was like, okay, that's fucked up.
Well, of course, to us, the most interesting thing is the media element of it, where it's what was the order of events in which a publicist stepped in and was like, can you take down this video? And they were like, we're not taking it down, but we will edit out some of the weird stuff, but we won't edit out the full story. We'll just edit out the reactions to the story. Because honestly, she's told this story before and gotten no reaction from it before on any level.
Zero.
In fact, she told this exact story on Jake Shane's therapist, and he cracked the hell up. You can play the clip here. It's not only did she tell the story, if you go to the episode, you can scroll to the chapter that's called Sleeping Boy Camp and get right to the story. Do you want to play it?
Here's the therapist story. This is the unfiltered story that she told in May of 2025, so just about a year ago.
There was this kid, he would always do this thing where he was like, can I have a hug? And he was like really bad kid, but I was like, I had a soft spot and I would like go to hug him and then he would lift up my shirt. Which was like savage. Yeah. And I remember I was 16 and I was like, I'm gonna get back this piece of shit motherfucker. Yeah. And so we were on a hike and I was like, over there, like, do you see the hawk? And he's like, where? And then I pulled his pants down. And he wasn't wearing underwear, so his like little peen is like flopping in the wind. And a bus, true story, a bus of other like campers come by and all these kids are like, no! And everything was in slow motion and his friends were like, you don't wear underpants? And then I wasn't asked back. It was crazy.
Were you like, when you pants, were you like, fuck, I know I fucked up?
I was like, what was I thinking? I think honestly, I was like, ha.
That's the first time she told the story months ago. No reaction, not one comment in the YouTube comments. I scrolled through all the comments. Not one comment, nothing, no one cared. No one really cared.
Then there's a Vanity Fair video with the title, SNL cast test how well they know each other.
One of the worst, most boring videos, just kind of concept-wise, and these people really did not come through. I'm like, we might be in a slump SNL era. It's like really kind of, what's going on?
Okay, here's the story.
No, I was fired as a camp counselor.
For hitting on the campers?
No, I pantsed a boy. He would lift my shirt all the time. It was a different time. Like he would be like, hey, can I have a hug? And I'd go to hug him and then he'd like lift my shirt like a dick. And then I was like, I'm gonna get back at you. And so we were on a hike and I was like, hey, Ollie, go look over there. It's a hawk. And he looked. And then I yanked his pants down and then I was fired.
Can I just say, they left in that story, right?
Yes.
Here's what they cut from that. They cut his age. They cut quote, some of the surrounding context. And they cut the reactions, which is Ashley and Sarah Sherman are like kind of horrified because they're like cringing. And Ashley says, oh, honey, I think you're on a list somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like they're joking, you know what I mean? Like, but they cut those things, which is like, I find it just very interesting what they cut. Considering that this story is already out there and it's told with all the detail of the original in a different video no one cared. And what's funny is I went back, oh my God, I wanted to know in the Vanity Fair video when they cut the content, like what happened. And it's like, I pulled all the comments and the oldest comment on the video in which somebody mentions the editing says, oh my God, the editor forgot to cut Chloe's segment, was posted on March 31st at 9 p.m. And then all the comments are like, now they're remembering, they're reading this and remembering, they're going back, they got your message, blah, blah, blah.
God.
The comment was posted on the 31st at 9:30 p.m. But I don't know the exact time that the original video was posted. Wait, but maybe they cut it and reposted it completely, which is why there are no comments really before, except for this one.
Maybe.
I wonder, I don't know. I can't tell. I honestly can't figure out what time they posted this video.
So after the video was edited, which it clearly was edited, Variety has this whole story about a Vanity Fair faces scrutiny over editing controversial Chloe Fineman video about her pantsing a 6-year-old boy at summer camp by Jordan Moreau. They're like, we saw the original and we saw the edited one and we're going to compare them. And at the end it says, quote, he wasn't wearing underpants and then a giant school bus drove by, Fineman says in the original video, but not in the new version. There were also shots of the SNL cast members gasping and covering their faces that were removed from the original. That's interesting because there are still shots of that in the new version. There were just more of them in the original. Many people on social media were shocked at Fineman's story and later pointed out that the Vanity Fair video had been edited to make it less shocking. Variety has reached out to Vanity Fair for comment. Let me guess, they will not be responding to you.
Yeah, let me guess. They want to move on from this issue. I just am like, the way that this was noticed now and not back then when she told it the first time, I think people are going to always bring up, people just don't like her. Why don't they like her? I don't know. They think she's annoying. They know she's a Scientologist. People, there's a lot of like already gunning out for her. Maybe they weren't gunning as much for her when she originally told the story on a long podcast that nobody wants to watch, which is therapists.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's like people were tuning in because they wanted to see Sarah Sherman and Ashley Bedia and whatever, all the new people of SNL.
Yeah,
and
they're not fans.
Chloe was just there, and those people do not like Chloe. It's
versus like, I see what you're saying. Versus like watching an interview show just for her. Only her fans really, and or Jake Shane fans are going to be watching that interview.
Yes. And also Jake Shane's reaction, this isn't a drag of Jake Shane, but Jake Shane's reaction to that story is like, I'm laughing.
Right.
The SNL video is actually awkward because the people that she's telling the story to are not responding like Jake Shane.
Totally.
They're like, you're fucked up, you psycho.
Well, they're all comedians, so they're doing it in kind of like a half joking way, but it's not like, but Jake Shane is a sycophant, so he's like,
yes.
You know, it's like she's getting the reaction of kind of like someone just playing along versus like her coworkers who were like, keep me out of this story.
Yeah.
Like, why are you telling the story for the second time? It is crazy. She's like, let me keep telling the story.
Someone was texting me about this and was like, was this a summer camp in Clearwater, Florida? It is a good question. Like, was this a Scientology camp?
I mean, it easily could have been. It literally easily could have been. What's it called? Boat Navy, where they work on the boat. It sounds like they're working on a boat, but they're kids that are sent to like work.
Oh,
at the store.
it's the
boat. It's like the name, like Navy boat. Ski organization, the Sea Org.
Sea Org. There we go.
Sea Org.
Yeah, Sea Org. Boat Club.
Because I think of them as, whenever I read Sea Org, I know they're doing lots of different terrible, bad, unpaid labor. But in my mind, they're all on a boat, like swashing the deck or whatever. Swabbing the deck. Oh my God, swabbing the deck. It's swabbing, not swashing.
Yeah, I think this is actually sticking in a way that's surprising to me. I mean, I am repulsed by this story, but I'm surprised that something like this is actually sticking. I think people just don't like Chloe Fineman.
I think people just don't like Chloe Fineman, actually, is what I'm saying. Because, like, the fact that this was told before, no reaction, told again, huge reaction, then Vanity Fair is doing some weird shit behind the scenes. Something's going on here.
Vanity Fair's doing some weird shit behind the scenes. Was she at the big party? The party for
Great question. Was she at the 50th anniversary? You know who was sitting in front row?
Lizzie Moss.
Elizabeth Moss. Yeah.
Lizzie Moss was front row. She was front
she
row
wasn't
at that
there.
party. She wasn't there.
She wasn't at.
Okay, she wasn't there.
No, she wasn't. It doesn't seem like she was there, or she wasn't spotted there by people who were there. The basis of Chloe Fineman's comedic work, where she's like criticizing Trump, criticizing Elon Musk, like making fun of these people have an issue, and I get why they do. It's like they see her and they're like, you're part of this like insanely evil organization, like, and you're out here criticize. Like, there's like a there's like a
hypocrisy
disconnect in that for people. Yeah, and like I think people see that, and it's very clear. Like, and that I think doesn't help, is what I'm saying.
It's same thing with Lizzie Moss and Handmaid's Tale. That's, I think, the weirdest thing about Handmaid's Tale.
Totally. When that came out, people were like, what the fuck, right? And it went on for a million years and everybody loved it, you know?
Yeah. And now it's got a new one.
And literally, where is Shelley? And I'm saying, where is Shelley? And I'm saying, where is Shelley?
Hi, BLT. I was wondering, which of the Artemis II astronauts do you think will be on Dancing with the Stars? Okay, crunch, crunch. Women do belong on the moon. Bye.
The Artemis, I mean, now I'm joining the chorus of people who are saying the exact same thing as me, but like, I didn't realize the Artemis II thing was happening until it was happening. And I was like, this is incredible.
It's crazy to have like such fucked up news happening in the world that like a cool, kind of objectively cool thing that you didn't think happened anymore was happening and you didn't realize, you know? My parents saw it go up in the air.
They saw it?
Yeah. They saw the light because they're in Florida, so they saw the like.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Every time there's a new photo, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. They went farther than any human has ever gone from the Earth. That's amazing. Okay, so they go up. They're iconic. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. We love Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. And the caller is asking which of these astronauts, when they land, they get back soon. By the time you're listening to this, I think they'll be touching down shortly, if not already. Which of these people would go on Dancing with the Stars? First of all, I think that's a stretch. I don't really believe that any of these people are going to go on Dancing with the Stars, but I've narrowed it down to two. And I have a thought process for this. One of them is Christina Cook.
I looked through all their bios looking for a hint of like kind of honestly camp, and I found nothing.
There's no camp, but I think that because she's a big athlete who like actually calls out like surfing and yoga, two things that I think would lend themselves to dancing, that sort of skill set, I'm going with her. Also, as the only woman, I think, there's a gender dynamic to that as well. They kind of want the woman. The other person I'm going to add in has the sob story, and I think it's the other thing that would appeal to ABC's audiences, which is the really beautiful thing about Carol. Remember that?
No, I don't know.
So Reed Wiseman is the one who, when they're traveling around the moon, they got to name one of the craters. They got to name one of the craters, and he named the crater after his late wife, Carol.
Yeah.
And it's very sweet, and you see them crying, and then their tears are floating in zero gravity. It's very sweet. I think that's a story that is very human interest. People magazine would love that story. The producers of Dancing with the Stars would love that story. And because he is the one man of the three men who is not married, well, because his wife sadly died, there's a chance for love. There's a chance for love.
Wow, so you're literally reality TV producering this guy's tragedy into a Dancing with the Stars plotline. This is a little bit devious of you, Bob.
I'm looking at this like the Amy Pascal of Dancing with the Stars, and I'm like, I think we can get that astronaut to fuck Jenna Johnson. I think that's where my head is.
Oh, you're saying you're like Dancing with the Stars meets the dancer, falls in love with his co-dancer.
Yeah.
Beautiful news story, memory of his late wife, incredible at dance, the end, perfect, amazing. Yeah. You're thanked at the wedding.
I'm thanked at the wedding. I think that's who it's going to be.
All right, I like this. I didn't know where you were going, and I did it, and halfway it made me uncomfortable, but you stuck the landing.
Splashdown. I do think, however, that they will not be on Dancing with the Stars. I don't think that happens. No. Here's my hypothetical.
I think they're going to discover an alien and he'll be on Dancing with the Stars. What? Yeah?
If Dancing with the Stars had existed in 1969, would Neil Armstrong have gone on it?
That is like the most impossible. Yes.
Or Buzz Aldrin. Would it have been Neil or Buzz? Other guy, we don't know him.
Would have been Buzz.
It would have been Buzz. He's a little hammier. Okay. Other guy, no one knows him.
He's campy. Buzz is camp.
Buzz is camp. Buzz would have done it.
Buzz is camp. Buzz camp.
Okay. Buzz is camp. Neil is not. We're done. Thank you for listening to another episode of Who Weekly. Call in at 619 Who Then Believe questions, comments, and concerns for our Friday show. The one you're listening to now. Support us on patreon.com/Who-Weekly for bonus episodes, a Discord server, commentary tracks, and more. You can also see audio only on Apple Podcasts. Thank you to Katie and Eric of the Who's for providing our Read a Theme song on Tuesdays. Thank you to Timmy, our research and editorial assistant, for researching and editorializing. You are at Coachella now, I assume. I hope you're having fun. We're going to keep bringing it up. We'll see you on Monday with another episode. If you don't subscribe, if you do subscribe, we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Hey. Hey.
I think we can get that astronaut to fuck Jenna Johnson.
Hi, Lindsay Bobby. Long time. The worst has happened. My dog has developed a phobia of your voices. There she is barking. She just got over her most recent fear episode in which I started playing the podcast and she stopped what she was doing and just started shivering in place. So my dog is 5 years old. I've had her since she was a puppy, and this whole time I have been a 3 days a week hooligan. And so she's heard a lot of the podcast, but recently and I don't know how this happened, she has developed a fear response to the buzzer noise that you guys use in your games, classic buzzer noise. And so I realized this when I was listening to the podcast, and there was the game, I think it was the Valerie What in the Helly Bertinelli game, and there were understandably a lot of wrong answers, and so there was a lot of buzzer noise, and my dog just started panicking, and she's usually a very confident, fierce little 15-pound individual, but she started panicking, and I realized when I was re-listening to the episode, because this is how I take care of my mental health, that she was having that response at that particular point in time. But now I've been like, okay, so I'm going to skip over the games. I'll listen to those in my car when my dog's not there or something. But now I fear that all she has to do is be exposed to 1 second of your dulcet tones, and she goes into a full shivering panic. So anyway, I'm going to start
some kind of exposure therapy so that we can get through this, but just thought that you'd want to know, and it is not your fault. Okay, crunch, crunch, jaw, jaw, jaw. Bye.
Hi, I'm calling in about the women-owned bulletproof glass. I'm glad to see women are now owning arms dealers. I've been amassing a list of other women-owned industries around my neighborhood, and so far I have found women-owned bananas, women-owned meatballs, and women-owned dumpsters. So that nail lady or recipe lady or whatever the fuck she was doing, she's among true titans of industry. Crunch, crunch.
Okay, this tweet is just from a Sky Jackson fan account. It says, Sky Jackson really just lost all her nominations at the Snappies when her Snapchat stories have been this week's main topic. Have they? Have they? Okay, crunch, crunch.
If you feel like some coffee, I'm gonna beg you to drink it black. But soon you'll be finding you can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my grunch.